He said, I've never known any.
So I worked out.
Everybody class, take your seats. Okay, we have the streaming ready. Hi guys, finish up your dialogue, social, one-on-ones between our meetings. You guys can stay where you're sitting if you like to. I guess it's hard this time, right?
Yes.
Martha? Marty's? Arnie? Bruce?
Yes.
I'm ready on the set, thank you. Okay, action, as in the words of Adam Cooper, who's not here. Action. Okay, well, thank you, miss us. We're live on my YouTube and LinkedIn, and this is the middle part of our meeting. Feel free to have a seat.
Thank you,
You
sir.
can stay anywhere. Good, thank you. Welcome again, Sandy. This is a point where we have our mini presentation for 10 minutes. So if you come to our meeting for 3 times in a row, you get to earn the spotlight, which we have about 10 or 11 presentations up on our Linktree site, which we could review. So if you want to hear Kim's 10-minute presentation or Marty's presentation on reverse mortgages, did you go? Maybe I have yours or not. I don't know. I have Suzanne's. You'll probably have to go next week if you want to. We had Lynn do our presentation, so we didn't have any. So anytime we don't have one, I pick an educational moment to talk about, to help us think about things about networking and to improve. So today's topic is what's the difference? By the way, I should say attention to small business owners and entrepreneurs, early birds and entrepreneurs, because I want to help you guys focus here. And also, I want you guys to have a strong end and not a weak end. There's a there. And by having a strong end and not a weak end, it's because you came to our networking meeting here, SBI or ONG. You can steal that, Bruce, if you like to. I know your birthday just came up too recently, didn't it, Bruce? We'll have to say happy birthday to you. I think it was like a day or two ago. I was thinking about getting you a pig.
Thank you.
I turned 87.
I was thinking about
You
it.
don't look a day over 90.
So Bruce and everybody, what's the difference between meeting in person and meeting on Zoom? I'm going to give you a couple of things, and maybe I might hear someone raise their hand and they just really want to say something. But what I find what's interesting about meeting in person or meeting online, when you're online on Zoom, because the last year's trained us to meet online, you're only in this box. And you can't move around to there or there. You don't see all these people here. You don't see all these people here. You only see you in this box. You also only see somebody's nose because they're not familiar with how to set up their camera framing. And you've been to those Zoom meetings where you're looking up their nose like this.
Where the guy stands up
Or,
and they're looking
you
at his
These are
tidy
these
whities.
things.
This is wearing a
right?
beautiful shirt.
So some of the things for tips for you, if you're ever on a Zoom call and you're having an appointment, is remember that you're in this box and that's your stage. Your Hollywood Squares. You're actually the Brady Bunch. You're marketing in a box versus, okay, we'll go back to in person. Does anybody like in person better than Zoom? Anybody show of hands?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, so many. And then there's a lot of people that keep telling me lately that they just love virtual because they're harping on the no gas, they're harping on the travel, they're harping on the no wasted time. But is this a wasted time being around people, their business owners in person, actually getting more than you're getting online? And are you getting more online? Let me ask that question to somebody who could answer that question. Are you getting more in person than you are online? Yes.
Of course.
Tell me your thoughts on that.
When you're in a Zoom meeting or in a virtual meeting, when the meeting is over, the meeting is over. And especially if the host ends the meeting when the meeting time is over. But in a in-person meeting, like while you were setting up the camera, we had a chance to talk to each other. When the meeting is over, there's nobody chasing us out that would prevent us from taking a nice comfortable chair and having a conversation.
You've been to those Zoom meetings where at the very end, right at the end of an hour, they hit the leave button and everybody's out of the meeting. 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Right. Anybody have any thoughts that come to their brain right away when I introduce this topic about the difference between Zoom and meeting in person? Bruce?
Okay, the one thing that Zoom has, which is pretty obvious that an in-person meeting doesn't, is it gives you the opportunity to network with people out of your geographic area.
that's true.
And if you're in the type of business that is not geographically bound, like having a store, then that could be an advantage, and you get to network with more people and connect with more people.
So we have some pros for online virtual as well.
Yeah.
What about when you're in that box on Zoom and you see everybody just standing there in their box and they're not moving? It might not look like, they might be a picture. I mean, but they might be there, but they look like a picture. And
Okay.
maybe a good suggestion is, I mean, sometimes we're in person and we're all sitting so still. I don't see any of you guys moving. And maybe you, in person, let us know that you're not a picture and that you're actually alive too. Or Ira's gonna have to come over and jump you. I mean,
Jumpstart.
charge you. I mean, maybe better choice of words or something. Okay.
Jumpstart. We call it.
Yeah.
Like a battery, we jumpstart.
Yes, Andy?
I love live meetings.
Mhm.
I do. Unfortunately, my company is international.
Mhm.
So I can't just fly off to London for a meeting or fly off to Tokyo for a meeting. But I get to meet these people online, which is great to a point. But I do love the,
They don't want to take all their commission dollars and put it into travel.
yeah.
So if
So
you need to write to the airport.
Hint, nice shameless plug, excellent.
Real good.
Now, I'm gonna segue just a little bit from the difference between Zoom and
Yeah.
meeting in person. How about this one? And to wrap up this 10-minute portion, I don't know if we're at 10 minutes yet. We're close. What time is it? Oh, okay, I see it's okay. We're fairly good. Another couple, 2 or 3 minutes. The difference between giving an elevator pitch and giving a presentation. I know that the timer and the hug and it's fun and keeping people from hogging the time and having an hour meeting. But I'm just gonna offer some of my thoughts on what I saw online between doing an elevator pitch and doing a presentation. I actually saw that an elevator pitch is supposed to be only 20 seconds. I'm even being doubly extra generous by allowing even a minute or a minute and 20 seconds. But what if you had to only give an elevator pitch in 20 seconds? Just enough to say your name, your company, and one thing that will make you stand out. And that should be, in my opinion, a true elevator pitch. 20 seconds to really make some impact. And then a presentation. Most people, I think, are not trained in presentations. They're not public speakers. Why I'd recommend Toastmasters. Some people go, what is Toastmasters? Toastmasters.org says everything about it. Learning about every week how to craft a speech, how to start a speech, how to put in the middle of a speech, how to end the speech. And sometimes when I'm giving a speech, when I was going to Toastmasters, at the end of 6 minutes was the average speech at Toastmasters, I would kind of peter out at the end. And peter out meaning my enthusiasm wasn't the same at the end as it was when I started. I was great, I was gung-ho, hi everybody, nice to see you. And then I tell you this, whatever I want to tell you, and then at the end, I'm like, okay, thanks, goodbye.
Because you don't know how to end it.
Right, so I think that a lot of public speaking practice, by coming to a Toastmasters club, you get practice on how to deliver speeches. But by coming here and not being in a Toastmasters club, can save you money there too, just by doing repetitive practice and coming and learning. If you mess up the first time, come back the next time and do the same talk again. And good thing for business owners, it's probably mostly the same talk. Marty's doing reverse mortgages, Sarah's doing long-term care, Ted's doing mobile notary, Martha's doing computers and how to fix them, or something happens, or a phishing scam. It's the same topics, but mix it up and give us something even more impact. So now, if your question revolves around the difference between elevator pitches and presentations, I'm looking for that, but go ahead and tell
I
us.
was always taught years ago that an elevator speech was about a minute, It's about the same time, the average time as a person's in an elevator. And you have about a minute, you give them just enough information that when you walk out of the elevator, they want more, so they come after you. You're like, bait them to want more.
I
That's
think
what I
the
was
reason
first
why
told.
you were told that is because the elevator you were in had 4 floors. And that was about a minute.
No, this was from real legitimate going to networking things up in New York, and that's what I was for. So it's a little bit different.
The elevators go slower there.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say
much.
that. I was
You
just
get
gonna
about a
say
minute.
that.
No, the point is, I was
Yeah,
taught you give them just enough information so that they come back to you.
Come
wanting
back
more.
for more. That's the key thing right
That's the
there.
key.
And sometimes we're doing our elevator pitches where we want to tell everything within that minute so no one comes back to us for more. Good point. Anybody have any thoughts on elevator pitch first presentation?
Well,
Okay.
just the same as a website. It doesn't really need to provide everything, but if it's a hook to have someone contact you.
Well, that's
So treat the elevator pitch like a website, a good website.
Enough
I like that point.
information to,
There's some websites that have just stuff everywhere, and the next thing you know, you're too confused. Anybody have any luck? Bruce?
Yeah,
Well, this would be the last
I
one.
made the distinction some time ago between the most common term that people use for these quote elevator pitches is commercials. And I don't call them commercials, I call them introductions, because you're not looking to do a commercial and sell somebody something in 1 minute. You're looking to, like was mentioned before, you're looking to get more engagement. The more you say, the less people are going to remember and the less it's going to sink in, because they're going to tune you out after the first sentence. So in this introduction, you just need to get that spark so they'll want to connect more with you without being redundant and giving them too much detail. Save that for the presentation.
And to wrap up our section, could you give your joke now?
My joke. Well, this is kind of like a moral. 1960. If you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. 2024. If you stop crying, I'll buy you something. Parents get what they deserve.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys all for listening, and we didn't get as much of a laugh. Sorry, Bruce. But if you like the topic about elevators, presentations, or Zoom or in person, clap your hands for Paul. Okay.
I had a feeling you were the speaker flying in.
thank you, Paul.
I know, right? Thank you so much for allowing me to give you some spark. Thank you guys.